be whatever source was seeking for it to be. The words came out, much like the previous song, as a prayer. Except it's a prayer from the higher self to the lower self. Check it out. Or the higher self to the imaginary lower self. Here I am. I've heard that you've been looking for me. A part of me to look for me. I think it's kind of funny. Here I am, waiting for you. Greetings, everyone. We'll be starting momentarily. We're letting people get on live. Thank you for joining us. If you're here in advance, we'll be starting up in just a few moments. So sit back and enjoy a little music. Right now, holy instant, holy moment. I know that you love to suffer until you're ready for some higher good. It's all good that you say it's all good, 'cause I made it that way. The essence is eternal, an extension of myself, holy instant, holy moment. Holy instant, holy moment. Thanks so much for your patience, everybody. Hello, and welcome. So glad you're watching. So glad you've tuned in. My wife is here, Kathy, doing a little bit of the production side of things. I'm also watching on standby, so I'll be able to see your comments. Throughout this session this evening, you'll be able to comment and ask your questions just by typing them into the comments. Kathy will help me monitor those. So, at any time, if you have a question you'd like to address, you may post it there. So we'll begin. I'd like to begin this much as I do with the sessions, the one-on-one guidance sessions I do, and the group channeling sessions I do. One is to first ask for Spirit to speak clearly, to speak exactly as intended, that I might open up and access that I am consciousness fluently, powerfully, and in a way that lifts us all to where we're intended to be in this moment. So thank you. You are also creating this, co-creating this, because we are interconnected. One of the wonderful teachings that I've listened to and received, and that I see reflected in so many spiritual teachings, is that we are one. Not even figuratively, but literally. We are interconnected in ways we don't understand from this lower level of consciousness and physicality we operate in. But we are truly of an essence that is divine and eternal. as extensions or children of God, as some would call it. So, without further ado, I'd like to tell you first what to expect during this. We're going to begin with a simple meditation. It's the meditation I use to assist me throughout the day from moment to moment in expanding my awareness into higher levels of consciousness so that I can harmonize with whatever is arising. I learned this through meditation and listening, and I asked, and I began to hear the teachings. And these teachings have helped me and many others, been blessed to teach many people, sharing just what I'm learning and applying with my family, with friends, with spiritual centers, and with people worldwide. I'm very grateful for that opportunity, but we all have that opportunity. It's nothing special that I'm doing. It's just me listening and following what I've been told I am to do, to be a teacher, to be a healer, a singer, an author, a lover, all of those things. So this practice, this meditation is one you can use to also listen to your roles. What is your soul's blueprint? What are you here to do, especially now during this wonderful time? So we'll begin with that. Then I'll just allow that message to come through. Whatever spirit is seeking to be said, I'll listen and allow that through. Now, I posted an earlier video on what is channeling. The way I do it is really listening to that spirit, that ruach that is within that Jesus taught. The angels, the guides used to come and teach me and tell me how to do what I'm doing now. And I was finally able to listen and do exactly that, to align with the source of who we are, that oneness, that I am. I am that I am, that consciousness, what other people call the Christ consciousness, that anointing. All of those words, same thing, for aligning with that spirit, allowing it to come through and speaking those words that the I am gives to me, just as Jesus taught. I speak what the Father tells me to speak and do it in the way he tells me to do it. That's what I attempt to do as well. And so, with that, we'll begin the meditation. You can close your eyes. You can get as comfortable as you like. No specific position required. Simply an open heart. As you breathe and relax. For those unfamiliar with meditation, meditation is simply a way to get still and know. A way to open up, to relax, to stop listening to that limited, conditioned mind, to open our awareness to more subtle levels so we can hear the still small voice, so we can sense what spirit is doing. So we can release the blocks and the resistance. So as you breathe and relax, just notice what your body is feeling. Bring your awareness or your attention to the body and notice the sensations as you breathe and relax. That's all you're focusing on. Not changing anything, just breathing and relaxing. Take a deep breath with me. Exhale. And now we're going to use 3 words or phrases that are actually codes. They are commands, if you will, that your inner being, that which is connected to the divine source, knows what they mean, yet all you need do is engage your will from this level of consciousness you are at. Relax and breathe and repeat them. They are align, allow, let go. Align, allow, let go. As you breathe and relax, mentally repeat align, allow, let go. If you want to say it out loud, you can. But you can also just do this mentally. Breathing, bringing your attention to your breath and relaxation. As you focus your will on feeling and experiencing what these codes bring. Align, allow, let go. As you continue, to meditate, I'll play a little music just to assist in your surrender. I give myself away. I give myself away so you can use me. I give myself away. I give myself away so you can use me. I give myself away. I give myself away so you can use me. Here I stand, here I come. Lord, I give to you my all. I give myself away. I give myself away so you can use me. And I say yes. Spirit, I say yes. Father, Mother, I say to your love. Oh yes, oh yes, oh yes. And I say yes. Father, Mother, I say yes. Great Spirit, I say yes. To your love, oh yes, oh yes, oh yes. As you continue to align, allow, let go, just listen, open your heart, and feel. Take a deep breath. Now you can actually align, allow, let go, or any combination, intuitively listening to what feels best as we receive whatever message comes through. Remember, you are co-creating this. As we have come together, there is something we are assisting in amplifying. So it's not just me as this separate being bringing something through. It's us collectively. I'm acting as the, quote, tuning device, if you will. But we are collectively bringing through and surrendering. So continue to surrender as you align, as you allow, as you let go. Some of you may be feeling the shift of energy. Let just go with it. Allow that energy, that spiritual energy, source energy to do its thing. Now, we'll begin. Yes. So, many of you are taking this opportunity to go deeper within through your spiritual practices, as you call them. In truth, they are designed to assist you with aligning with the source of who you are, as some of you know. And some of you are learning for the first time that you can expand in a greater way than you thought was possible. accessing that which is seeking to come out and be expressed as you. This is your birthright, these spiritual gifts, these abilities, these wonderful powers, if you will, that are extended to you because you are extensions of Source. You are extensions of the limitless love and light that has birthed all creation. And thus, through your practices, many of you are discovering you can surrender and open up to more than you thought was possible. The invitation is to do exactly that and to continue from moment to moment, surrendering to that which is here for you at all times. It is an intelligence and divine love that is seeking to know itself as you. Now, that part of you that tells you it is not possible, that part of you that tells you there is something abnormal with this, that part of you that tells you you are only the body and there is no more for you, is the limited conditioned thinking or ego that keeps you from experiencing or knowing the truth of who you are. And it is time to shed these distractions for those who are willing to answer the call. It is time to shed these distractions that only create suffering, only create disempowerment, and keep you confused in the cycles of why is this happening to me? Keep you confused in the cycles of what am I to do now that this is gone and I lack what I thought I needed in my life? The truth is, you always have access to the power that creates everything. Some call it God. There are many names it is called by. But what matters is, are you ready to align with it? The it that you are, the essence. So as you shed these misperceptions, you begin experiencing new births into your power, expanding more and more so that you might take hold of the gift of life of this very now moment and embrace the opportunity to choose bliss in all of its wonderful ways and receive your birthright. This message is a eternal message because it is part of the journey you are experiencing being in this dimension. If you are at this moment in a quote body, listening, looking, feeling, experiencing physicality as a body, you are in effect learning this lesson. To be in this body but not of this body. To be in the flesh but not of the flesh. To be in this physical dimension but not of this dimension. The reality is you are in an illusion, but you are not of the illusion. You are of the divine essence. So the invitation once again, and we love using that word, invitation means to invite you to align with the source of who you are from moment to moment, that your light may be evident to not only you but all that you are, shining it brightly by casting off what no longer serves. John and Kathy had a wonderful, wonderful week of casting off what no longer serves, becoming more and more aware of what is no longer serving. And the key to identifying what no longer serves is, how does this feel? As soon as it stops feeling wonderful and you become aware that, wow, this does not feel good, It is an indicator that there is something to release, a lesson, bringing it to your awareness that you are not in alignment with harmony and bliss, dynamic bliss that source is seeking. Therefore, this does not feel good. When you are looking at the world, when you are looking at changes and you are in fear, ask yourself, how does this feel to forget everything's all right? How does it feel to forget all is well? If it doesn't feel good, it's your indicator that you are ready to align. For the knowing knows all is well, and that these temporal shifts will not last. They are by definition changing, temporal, temporary. They are the experiences that bring you something for the moment so that you can experience in harmony, in alignment, what it feels like to embrace and accept this moment as it is. Even the transitions of our loved ones. What does sorrow feel like from a place of alignment versus a place of resistance? Believe it or not, there is a bliss even in sorrow. It is a relief and a surrender and a letting go that opens the heart wider. It is an opportunity to transform or to resist and suffer. Grieving. All healthy things, all emotion is healthy. It is a matter of whether we align and experience those wonderful changing waves of frequency, or whether we resist and suffer. Yes, yes, yes. These wonderful reminders are timeless reminders that are important because of not only the opportunity we have now to collectively expand and let go of what does not feel good collectively, but also the perception of individuality is shifting. We are becoming more aware of our interconnectedness, and we are letting go of those old patterns of thinking that think in terms of lack, survival, fight and flight, etc. And we are learning to align with our true power that sees that interconnected perfection, that sees the wonderful cycles and opens within us a compassion, a love, and an acceptance of all we see, knowing that it is divine perfection. Though in temporary illusion, it is for us. And we begin to inquire and ask, what are the gifts for us? What is mine to know? What am I to see? What am I to experience now, in this moment? And as we listen to that knowing, it assists us in uncovering these habitual, limited misperceptions. And we begin to see with the eyes of love when we align, when we surrender, when we let go. Now, one important thing to acknowledge is that the creation, the illusion, the individuated points of awareness that we operate as, physicality, bodies, etc., is a creation designed to allow us to experience transformation and change. And our birthright is to do so in a way that is fulfilling from moment to moment. When we are not feeling fulfilled from moment to moment, it is that wonderful desire to choose what is not fulfilling that assists in growing the desire to opt out of the unnecessary suffering. In other words, the suffering is optional. Many have been taught that we must go through suffering in order to be refined. The reality is that is an old paradigm, and what we are inviting you to recognize is that the suffering has always been optional. It is to the degree in which you resist what is in this moment. Even when it comes to when you look at in this moment the past, when you look at in this moment the future, are you creating resistance, or are you aligning and allowing a higher level of consciousness to let you know all is well and this is perfect and this too is perfect? We speak in the quote third person about John because he is accessing your consciousness, not just his consciousness. This is our consciousness coming through. John's journey this week was also about greater self-love. Many of us are dealing with the issues of seeing our own worthiness and perfection in deeper ways, knowing that whatever we have, whatever we think and misperceive that we lack is all perfection. And that whatever we bring and offer, it is not about the what as it is about the beingness. I surrender to offer fully with everything we are, what we have, the best we can. And that form of surrender and alignment is a sacred act of love with the now moment that can alleviate not only suffering in this individuated point of awareness, but suffering worldwide. As we surrender to that divine creative impulse through our alignment, we allow that source energy and that love to come through clearer and clearer, so that it might not only break us free of the self-imposed chains and suffering, but reverberate around the world in a way that lifts us all into greater freedom. The harmonic resonance that we bring through our own practice is assisting in lighting up all humanity and lifting us all to new heights. So do not think that whatever you bring is somehow insignificant, for it is most significant. What you bring through your presence, what you bring through your practice and through your surrender is instrumental in the lifting of the whole. Know that your practice, your surrender is that important. What are you choosing to experience as a divine child of the Most High? This is your opportunity to step through the portal and ascend, to transcend the cycles of suffering. Though the temporal cycles will still appear, you can ride them out in a way that you're meant to ride them out. They are here for you, not to happen to you. Even this time of change, no different in that it is happening for you collectively and individually from your individuated point of awareness. Yes. So we will open up for questions. Any questions we might have, we'll tap Kathy to ask. Go ahead and post any questions you'd like to, and we'll begin.
So Christine asks, in this moment, what is our next step as light workers to hold space for others and hold on to our own light?
Excellent. So, remembering that there is only oneness here, we can remember it is our choice that we are responsible for and none else. In other words, from this individuated point of awareness, it is my choice. I am responsible for expanding, and by holding space, some would think Holding space means to look upon others and hope and trust that they will somehow change. But that is only to justify separation. Our only responsibility is to bring ourselves to alignment so that we might be examples of letting go of the suffering for ourselves. And in doing so, we become aware that the illusion of suffering is perfect. The illusion of suffering increases our desire to opt out. And when we are ready, we do. But there is no need to hold the space and hope for the change that someone will correct or fix themselves. Otherwise, we'd be creating more suffering, that something is wrong in the first place. If all is well and always is, which is the essence of oneness itself, which is the I am consciousness itself, then everything we see in the appearance is well, because it is part of the all we are experiencing. Thus, how do we hold space in a way that is best and highest? By simply aligning, shedding any misperception that something is not well. What about disease? This holds true for that. What about financial economies shifting and changing? This holds true for that. What about any problem your mind can conceive? This holds true for that. For the mind that knows all is well and always is does not see the problem. It sees the perfection, bringing about the transformations that are for you. And as you align, you begin to accept what is arising as perfection. All you see, every transformation, every manifestation, internal and external. So how can we best hold space for others? By aligning and listening to that inner knowing that reminds us all is well and always is. At a deeper level, we can begin to ask, what is mine to know? And listen and experiencing it. Even hearing it now, this is not so much about the words. It's about your alignment, your breathing, your relaxing, and your willingness to feel the knowing, experience the knowing, to allow it to come through and be experienced, that spirit, that Holy Spirit, that anointing, to be embodied through that source energy and that higher consciousness, the mind of God, if you will. The I am consciousness, Christ consciousness, listening and allowing that to come through, that you might experience or know and be set free from the misperception that there is anything wrong. When John often experiences challenges and remembers, he recognizes this is a good time to align, allow, let go. I have become distracted, or I feel something going on. And if that doesn't work, he takes a break, goes and lays down and listens and experiences that power that frees you from all suffering, all illusion, all misperception. This is how you hold space. Yes. From there you can hear what is yours to do. But you must bring the being of wellness to the doing. Otherwise, your doing is often distracted. And often our doing is an attempt to reinforce separation, lack, suffering, and the like. We hope that assists. Yes, yes. Any other questions?
So Monica is questioning the statement, the need to suffer is an old paradigm?
Yes. So often we looked at suffering as being a part of necessity in order to grow. However, What we want to shift is bringing that knowing that knows only perfection is for you. The suffering is optional, meaning when you are seeking to expand and grow, it does not mean you will not feel pain. But when you feel that sensation, it is up to you to create resistance or flow. The wonderful analogy of childbirth is one that John and Kathy have discussed, because the childbirthing of John Hamilton Stringer V was a wonderful one, with some discomfort, some sensation, but little suffering. How can that be so? It is through our surrender to get out of the way, to let the fear go, to release the resistance, through our alignment, our allowing, our letting go, so that the divine intelligence within us can do what it knows to do. So that our interconnected spiritual and, quote, appearance of physical community can support in those times of need. And when we do this in surrender, in any moment, in any situation, we are actually birthing a new experience in the moment that is for us. And it can be a surrendered birthing or a resistant birthing. The resistance is the suffering. The resistance is what creates the torment, the hell. The alignment is what creates the surrender, the bliss, the trust, the relief, as we commit our spirit to life at the highest level. God, I am. So, the old paradigm thought that suffering was necessary, and we've often looked at suffering as a good thing, especially in religious doctrine and dogma. However, suffering is in essence an illusion. It isn't even real. It is created here. Whatever you go through, you make the decision of whether to surrender and align and see it from the eyes of God that knows all is for you. Nothing is against you. Nothing is to harm you. Or you operate from the lower carnal mind, the physical mind, that believes that this is to harm, that believes that this is happening to you, against you, and that you can somehow be thwarted because you are separate from God. However, that great master teacher knew that we are one with the Father, one with the Mother, one with the divine Elohim. They, we. The physical carnal mind cannot even conceive of what the divine truly is. Therefore, we shall not limit it to the misperceptions of the past and think that we can expand and transcend the suffering of the past. We must let go and allow the knowing, allow the Spirit to teach us all things, allow that knowing to expand so that we can opt out of the suffering, not the sensation, not the changes, not the, quote, a perceived persecution, judgments, or whatever of the world and of the lower mind. It is that we ascend, we transcend through our surrender like wings of an eagle. We soar. We walk on the water. So many analogies. It doesn't disappear. The illusion doesn't necessarily go away, for we are here. Our soul's blueprint is to be the light in this illusion. To be the light in this illusion is why we are here. And it is our surrender to Spirit that allows us to expand and transcend and be that light without the suffering. Now, some of these scriptures that taught about the suffering that purifies, these are experiences, the trials. These are misperceptions when we think it means suffering in a way that, oh my goodness, I can't take it anymore, etc. That is not what it was meant to convey. Yes, we will go through trials. Yes, we will go through changes. Yes, we will go through things that are uncomfortable. But discomfort is not suffering. Resistance is suffering. So we offer you a different translation that the old paradigm have many of us thinking we must suffer through miserableness. We will go through the ups and downs of emotion. We will go through the trials of the external and the changes it brings. Yet our surrender allows us to ride those changes and receive our birthright of dynamic bliss or abundant life. Yes, yes, yes. We hope that helps. Yes. Other questions?
Monica replied to that. Misperceptions of the past. Trying to let a lot of that go.
Yes, yes. That is a part of the conditioning that we are all experiencing and learning to let go. What is important is to remember your focus on Christ, the Christ consciousness, the anointing, Spirit, God. Your focus on aligning with the source is how you let go. Notice when we talk about the codes of align, that's to align with source. In other words, you're bringing yourself to that stillness to know that God is the I am that I am. Then you are allowing that spirit to move in the way it knows to move. You are not thinking from the lower level, I must do the work. You are bringing yourself to a place of surrender so that spirit might do its work. When you are letting go, you are letting go of your resistance to open up and allow that spirit fully to bring through whatever need be brought through and to release whatever need be released. So remember, the level that perceives the problem, the level of consciousness you are looking through and seeing the problem, is not the level that, quote, sees beyond the problem and knows that nothing is wrong. So this level that creates the problems is our lower level of consciousness, or the carnal mind, the limited conditioned thinking that can't see beyond its individuated point of awareness. Through alignment, we expand that awareness and open up to spirit, the mind of God, the spiritual mind, so that it might direct our path in all our ways. If we acknowledge that power through our alignment, it will direct our path. It will show us exactly what is time to release. Know that everything isn't to be released. Your limitations, quote, resistance, and all of these things are perfectly designed so you can experience this physical world. The belief in the body allows you to taste, to touch, to feel. They're not all to be released in the sense of no more. They are simply to be engaged in so that you can enjoy the unfolding and have life more abundantly. Yes, yes, yes. Take a deep breath, everyone. And remember, these answers, these questions are for us all. They are reminders for each of us. So don't feel as if anything you have to ask is somehow only for you, or feel embarrassed or anything like that. This is for us all to remember collectively, for we are interconnected. Any one of us that has yet to experience that knowing is an opportunity for expansion into more love for us all. So know your question, your presence, your experience is an integral and perfect part of what we're here to embrace, the love and the light that we are. Yes, yes, yes. Any other questions?
I think we are complete.
Excellent, excellent. So we will end with a song. And if you have one more question, go ahead and post it as we go into this music, and we'll address it before we end. All alone, confused and naked, it's when we are our most sacred. Fear is the enemy that strikes out at our sanity. By keeping faith in the promise, we drink from endless fountains, and it's a peaceful feeling when we surrender. There is healing power in letting go, letting go, letting go. All alone, confused and naked, it's when we are our most sacred. Fear is the enemy that strikes out at our sanity. By keeping faith in the promise, we drink from endless fountains. We are here to observe, climbing up on higher mountains, yeah, yeah. And it's a peaceful feeling when we surrender. There is healing power and letting go. No. And it's a peaceful feeling when we surrender. There is healing power in letting go. Letting go. Letting go. No. Letting go. Letting go. Thanks again, everybody, for joining. Hope you enjoyed this. Apologies if we missed any questions. I think my wife, Kathy, caught them all, but if we missed anybody, hopefully we'll catch you next time. Just a reminder also that we're inviting you tomorrow to an actual full concert. So if you'd like to be a part of that, join us on this same Facebook live, John Stringer 1111. If you're listening from Trinity Center Atlanta's page, you'll want to make sure you join the John Stringer 1111 page. Go ahead and like that now so that you will be able to join us and receive a notification. Now, when we do that, we'll also be going live from YouTube Live. So John H. Stringer is the YouTube channel that you can also watch from. And Sunday, I'll be sharing music and message for Creative Living Fellowship in Arizona. I was scheduled to speak there. I was also scheduled to be in Arizona for the house concert, but we're taking it all online. So join us at 10 a.m. Mountain Time, 1 p.m. Eastern Time for that service. And then you can sign up. Go ahead and register if you plan to be there for the Art of Listening to Genius workshop. This is where I'll be teaching you exactly the process that I use, but teaching you how to recognize all the different ways that Spirit speaks to us. So a lot of your intuitive abilities that Spirit can use will help you in expressing more of the genius that you're here to express and share. Some of those talents are laying latent for you, and we want to bring those and amplify them for you. So hope you'll make it. You can actually register on the Facebook event for that through the Zoom link. So just hit the tickets link. It'll take you to the Zoom registration page. Make sure to go ahead and sign up for that so you can receive the link. That's the only way you can get the link to where the Zoom class will be. Download Zoom if you don't already have it. Most people are familiar with Zoom, so hopefully you will be too if you aren't already. So that is it for this session. Thank you everyone for joining us. I just want to acknowledge a few people here that I can see. Our dear friend Karen Thompson, love you. My dear Miriam Newman, love you. Tracy Grigg, my dear friend Stephen Roberts, good to see you on here, brother. Yes, the setup is working much better. We're still working through it. Cerise Patron, yeah, what's up, Cerise? We're still planning our wonderful trip to Peru with Cerise. We're just going to be trusting Spirit and journeying on an incredible journey through Peru. So hopefully, if you don't know about it already, go to johnstringerinc.com. You can find out about that wonderful tour, and healingartsmgmt.com. That's where it actually lives. Who else is on here? D Constant. What's up, D? I'm so glad you did turn on Facebook. We are doing well. Thank you for joining us, in fact. James Loner, what's up, brother? Better late than never indeed. Sophia as well. Much love to you. And all the other people that are on here, thank you for joining us. Had a great time. We look forward to seeing you next time. May you continue to expand in your practice of surrendering to that great divine Spirit that is us, as us, operating through us as the love and light we are. Peace.